the cloud.
Yes.
We're going, sis.
Are we going?
Yep,
Hello? Anybody home?
I am. Is this thing on?
Is it on?
Yes.
Yeah. Have we got our beautiful family with us?
I can feel that they're here,
Yeah.
popping in right now.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Okay, so let's embark upon one of the most important lessons of A Course in Miracles. Yeah. And that is lesson 139. I will accept atonement for myself. Yeah. Just a little bit of support material. Atonement. What is atonement? Let's just talk about that just for a second. Atonement, if we're to really condense that, it's the correction of fear in our mind by Holy Spirit. That's what it is. Very simple. It's not some great big convoluted, complicated thing. It's an instant, just one instant. It can be in less than 1 second of linear time. In that second, if we wholeheartedly accept, which means to receive, the correction of fear in our mind, that is the atonement. That's true forgiveness. Yeah. So it's very simple. But of course, the ego defends against this because it knows the second we genuinely accept atonement in our heart mind, it ceases to exist.
Right.
Until the next moment when we take it back up again, the ego thought system, mythical me. Yeah.
That reminds me of the shield of fear diagram. So we are love. And our mind is the mind of God. And so this shield of fear and its images are the way that we defend against the truth that we are love and we are one with God. So a mind that doesn't have fear, he says your role is to forgive and accept the atonement. That's the removal of the fear. And then are we responsible for making the truth true? No, truth just naturally asserts itself. So the truth is always present and in operation, but for the fear that we hold in our mind. So that is like Sis said, the accepting of the atonement is handing over through forgiveness all fear and its images in our mind for the correction.
That feels better.
Yeah, just fear. That's all we're dealing with.
That's all we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, what gives rise to that fear is the unconscious belief that we did sin and separate from God and all our brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, we are deserving of punishment. So fear is the outcome,
Mm-hmm.
right? Isn't it? It's the outcome of our unforgiven belief that we did sin and that we do deserve punishment. And when we believe that we deserve punishment,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to be fearful and we're going to expect or anticipate that punishment. That's what fear is.
Mm-hmm.
It's an insane thing from the ego, which is the anticipation of punishment.
Right.
Okay, that helped me a lot when I finally realized that.
Yeah.
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 I'll keep,
Keep
shall
going.
I keep reading? Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. I will accept atonement for myself. Here is the end of choice, the choice between illusions, good and bad, right? For here we come to a decision to accept ourselves as God created us. And what is choice except uncertainty of what we are? There is no doubt that is not rooted here. There is no question but reflects this one. There is no conflict that does not entail a single simple question: what am I? Wow. Just fantastic, isn't it?
It
You know,
is.
when you look at the gap diagram and all of the choices
Mm-hmm.
that we seem to be making between illusions that are all equally unreal,
Mm-hmm.
is because we don't know what we are.
Right.
We have no idea. We're mythical me while we're making those choices. We believe we are mythical me, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the belief that we are mythical me, the name that you probably have in your Zoom room box, or that you believe that you are, that is the same thing as saying I am sin incarnate. I am guilty because I am the separated one. And we think that we waffle between a real choice between that and the truth of what you are as an idea in the mind of God. And so this belief, like Sis just said, the separation results in I'm going to be punished, and we're fearful. Can you all get that sense, like waking up every day and feeling kind of a low grade anxiety that it's you against the world, that you're responsible for your supply, covering the bills, the relationships, the children, your work, your spiritual journey, right? All of that on you. If you are the separated self, it would seem to be us against the world, and overwhelming. This, like we were talking about last time, this is the resting in God and knowing that, as I accept my oneness in God, that everything is already known and provided. Like I do include the kingdom of heaven. We all do. Our true identity. We are the kingdom of heaven.
Beautiful. And while we're still believing in the gap there, we're going to, especially when we're triggered by problems, disease, pain, sickness, relationship conflict, money issues, whatever, we're also going to feel responsible for solving those problems. Yeah.
It's called stress.
It's called stress.
Yeah.
Insane stress. Yeah.
Self-imposed punishment. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let's go to paragraph 2. Yet who could ask this question, what am I, except one who has refused to recognize himself? Only refusal to accept yourself could make the question seem to be sincere. The only thing that can be surely known by any living thing is what it is. From this one point of certainty, it looks on other things as certain as itself. Uncertainty about what you must be is self-deception on a scale so vast, its magnitude can hardly be conceived.
Wow.
To be alive and not to know yourself is to believe that you are really dead. For what is life except to be yourself? And what but you can be alive instead? Who is the doubter? What is it he doubts? Whom does he question? And who can answer him? Wow. He merely states that he is not himself, and therefore, being something else, becomes a questioner of what that something is.
Wow.
That's the ego right there, right?
Yeah. Do we
You
want
got
to?
it?
Yeah. Well, do you want to unpack any of that, or do you want to just keep going? How do you feel?
Let's read this paragraph and then unpack it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to read that statement again because that
Please.
hit the bullseye.
Yeah.
He merely states that he's not himself, and therefore, being something else, becomes a questioner of what that something else is. Yet he could never be alive at all unless he knew the answer. If he asks as if he does not know, it merely shows he does not want to be the thing he is. He has accepted it because he lives, has judged against it and denied its worth, and has decided that he does not know the only certainty by which he lives. Wow. Okay, let's go.
Do you have that last sentence? Thus he becomes uncertain of his life, for what it is has been denied by him.
Oh no. Could you read that again? Because that's not here.
The last sentence in our paragraph 4 says, thus he becomes uncertain of his life, for what it is has been denied by him.
Oh, oh my God. Oh, how could you leave that out?
Are you sure it's not on the next page or anything in yours version?
Oh, maybe I'm judging. Here. Oh, sorry. Yes, it is. It is. Please forgive me. All right.
I was going
It's,
to
it's in the
ask.
next paragraph. Thus
Oh,
he becomes uncertain of his life, for what it is has been denied by him.
yes. Okay.
Okay.
Good.
But you've got that in paragraph 4. I have it in the beginning of paragraph 5 in the FIP version.
I'm just grateful that it's there. So that's good.
Thank God they didn't take that one out. That's like taking Jesus out, right?
Oh, this is so big. This is
Isn't it?
so really, really big. Can we back up for a second? Okay, Jesus, help me. It's backing up to recognize that nothing, anything, none of this can be done at all, if at first you did not live. If you did not have life, we wouldn't be discussing this. There wouldn't be a decision. There wouldn't be confusion. There wouldn't be a need for course, right? So God has given life, and he's given us life. And the way that he gave it to us, and the way that he created us and declared our condition, our substance, and our nature is his decree. It's God's will, and that cannot possibly be undone. And while we are at home in God, resting under his laws, we are in our function, in our natural state, which is not separate. And we think the thoughts with God, and we are the expression and the activity of God, the evidence of God. We are the outward manifestation, the will of God in motion. Okay, that's what we are. Now, this idea that we could jump out of God and become something else, and we over and over, here we go. We believe that we became this, and this is separate, right, from the one sun. There's billions of bodies with privatized minds and separate wills, all in conflict, all feeling very frightened and guilty because God's not on the scene, right? So only this one could ever be in doubt of what it is. This one alone asks the question, what am I? Being uncertain of itself, because the mind is split. Part of the mind knows that we are as God created us to be, and part of the mind that's fallen asleep is at war with itself, declaring, no, you are mortal. You are, a body moving through space-time. You are this, right? And under these laws. So to be alive and not to know yourself, meaning you identify with mythical me, is to believe that you are really dead. Have we ever considered that while we're walking around as mythical me, that we're not living life with a capital L, because this is where life is? That this is hell here now? When I say dead talk, that separate bodies talking to each other about nothing, about illusions, I can't think of a better definition for dead talk. And then he's asking, for what is life except to be yourself? Yourself. This is where you live. This is life. This is what God decreed that you are.
And that's shared with all our brothers and sisters. We're not separate private minds with separate bodies.
So
right?
who is the doubter? Who's the one that has doubt about God and God's creation and what he is? That's mythical me, right? What is it that he's doubting? What's in the gap? What's he looking at? What's he worried about? What's he concerning himself with? What's he trying to fix? What's he trying to protect himself from? What's he trying to amass for its well-being and pleasure? What's doing that? Who is this person, right? What is it he doubts? And whom does he question? God's not here in the gap. Is he questioning another brother? Is he questioning the ego where all of this is taking place in? The ego doesn't know anything. The ego is complete darkness and complete insanity. And who can answer him? This one with these insane questions. Who's going to give the answer to the insane questioner? The one that doesn't exist.
Wow. Oh, that's the best unpacking. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this one's merely states that he is not himself, and therefore being something else becomes a questioner of what that something is. Yeah, that's insanity. Okay, go ahead, sis.
Well, thanks, sis, because something came in
Mm,
this last year or two, which was a wonderful insight when I joined with Jesus, which is that um, all doubt,
yeah.
all doubt we have
Hmm.
is self-doubt
That's right.
and comes from mythical me. There's no doubt in the holy self.
Mhm.
There can be no doubt. There's only absolute certainty
Yeah.
of what we are.
Thank you. So that question again comes back to any problem that seems to hang on, or anything that still gives us juice as a trigger, or something we still think we need to figure out and solve independently from God, right?
Mhm.
That's self-doubt.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. And I love this paragraph. This
Yeah.
paragraph comes from chapter 9, the text, section 4, paragraph 5. This is Jesus speaking. Forgiveness that is learned of me does not use fear to undo fear, right? Nor does it make real the unreal and then destroy it, to make real a problem and then try and heal it, right? Forgiveness through the Holy Spirit lies simply in looking beyond error from the beginning and thus keeping it unreal for you. Do not let any belief in its realness enter your mind, or you will, and this is big,
Yes, this is
or
it.
you will believe that you, mythical me,
Hmm.
must undo what you have made in order to be forgiven. Right? What
Okay.
has no what has no effect does not exist. And to the Holy Spirit, the effects of error are non-existent. That's that absolute certainty. That's that vertical alignment. By steadily and consistently cancelling out all its effects everywhere and in all respects, he teaches that the ego, mythical me, does not exist and proves it. There you go. You can see why I love that quote so much.
Oh, it's so good.
Hmm?
That's so good. So forgiveness that is learned of me does not use fear to undo fear,
That's
right?
right. Thank you for going
So
back to
nor does it make real, like
that.
make any of this real and then destroy it.
Or
So
heal it.
so right. So looking
Gonna
in here
real.
and making anything real to begin with, we're gone because you're looking at illusions. The one looking at the illusions, which is fear incarnate, is also as illusory as everything else in the gap. So we're not using fear to undo fear. We're not making any of this real and then praying to overcome it. Forgiveness through the Holy Spirit lies simply in looking beyond error from the beginning. Go back to the beginning. Bam. This is in the beginning. Okay, this the truth. And keeps it true by understanding that this separation never occurred. So everything that's represented in that gap has never occurred. Only in a sleeping mind did it seem to occur, which is what we're waking up to, that this is the present, always, right here, now fact of our existence. Do not let any belief in its realness enter your mind, or you're also going to believe that I've made it real, now I'm responsible to undo it. And what does that thought give? It gives this one a job, something to do, right? It's employing the I know mind. Yeah. What has
Again,
Go
That's
ahead.
the healer. Sorry to
No,
interrupt your
no, no,
flow,
no. You're
but
good.
that's the unhealed healer right there.
Yeah.
Sees a real problem and then says, look, I have something you don't have because I'm a healer, and I'm going to give it to you so we
Yeah.
can heal the problem, right? The
Right.
real problem. Yeah,
That's right.
nothing's happening.
Nothing. You cannot forgive what you have first made real. That's why he says the Holy Spirit starts and stops here. It never leaves here. It may recognize what you think is going on, but it simply shines the light and says, no, my son, you've simply been mistaken. This is the fact of your life. Okay.
Can we celebrate now?
I totally. And have you guys read the blog about making the positive separation? Because that's my favorite.
Where is it, sis?
It's in the blog, and I'm pretty sure it's in the notes in the show more description
It's in
box.
our long list of
Of
resources on
yes.
YouTube there in the
Yeah.
description box or the show more box.
Because everybody, remember when we were talking about this, heaven is a choice we must make. That's the choice. I'm not this. I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. That would be helpful. That blog. Anyway.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Okay. What paragraph am I up to?
Oh wow. Up to
Wait a
5.
minute. Oh, here. Paragraph 5, right?
Yep.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thus he becomes, he's referring to mythical me.
Mm-hmm.
Thus he becomes uncertain of his life, for what it is has been denied by him. It is for this denial that you need atonement, which is what we just read that paragraph for. Your denial made no change. Love this. Your denial made no change in what you are. Can you let that sink in?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Your denial made no change in what you are. But you have split your mind into what knows and does not know the truth. You are yourself. There is no doubt of this. And yet you do doubt it. But you do not ask what part of you can really doubt yourself. This is what Sis just was explaining so eloquently, right?
Mm-hmm.
It cannot really be a part of you that asks the question. So it can't. The
Not me.
part that's got self, that is immersed in self-doubt,
Mm-hmm.
that can't be part of you. What were you going to say, Sis?
No, just it's not me. That's that mantra that we use quite often. The thoughts that come, these are not my thoughts. This isn't me. I am not mythical me.
It's not a thought of God, so it's not mine.
That's right.
That's it. For it asks of one who knows the answer. Were it part of you, then certainty would be impossible. Okay. Hang on, I'm a little bit confused by this. So I'm just going to back up a bit and go back to sentence number 9. It cannot really be a part of you that asks this question, for it asks of one who For it asks of one who knows the answer. Were it part of you, then certainty would be impossible. All right. Okay. And next paragraph 6. Atonement remedies the strange idea that it's possible to doubt yourself and be unsure of what you really are. This is the depth of madness. Yet it is the universal question of the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even our children, the children are full of self-doubt because we as parents were full of self-doubt, right? And that self-doubt, of course, gets transferred to our children. And then they start doubting themselves too. That's why it's so important that if we want to heal our kids, we have to learn to accept the atonement for ourselves. That's the light in our shared mind that's going to help to heal our children. We have to do it. We have to accept it. Right?
Oh, good.
Um, yeah. Okay. Mm. Depth of madness, yet it is the universal question of the world. What does this mean except the world is mad? Why share its madness in the sad belief that what is universal here is true? Mm. Nothing the world believes is true. Wow. I've read this. I don't know how many hundreds of times I've read this over those first 20 years or so of studying the course. Nothing the world believes is true. And yet, I'm just going to say this. There was still a part of my mind, obviously the ego, that said, yeah, he's just really speaking metaphor. He's not speaking literally.
Mm.
It's only now, 30 years under my belt of the course that I really realize he means everything.
Yeah.
It's literal. Nothing the world believes is true. In other words, nothing the ego believes is true.
Mm-hmm.
So all of this is part of our unlearning. It is a place whose purpose is to be a home where those who claim they do not know themselves can come to question what it is they are. Isn't that what when kids are born and they're born with amnesia of what they are and their sole purpose in this life, which is to awaken from the mythical me, the ego self, right? What?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's okay. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. Everybody we meet, pretty much, unless they're serious or advanced students of A Course in Miracles, will be falling into this category, right? Um,
Yeah, they come in as these blank slates, and then everything, last remnants of the light, is just rolled out of them through false education. Just
False education. Thank you, sis, for that. Yeah. So, and then Jesus says here, and they will come again until the time atonement is accepted. And they learn it is impossible to doubt yourself and not to be aware of what you are. Well, that statement strongly suggests that the illusion of reincarnation in the illusion of time is 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 happening. Yeah.
yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. The next paragraph is 8. Only acceptance can be asked of you, for what you are is certain. So he's saying what we are is certain. That can't be changed just because we've chosen to forget what we are.
Right.
Yeah. It is set forever in the holy mind of God and in your own. It is so far beyond all doubt and question that to ask what it must be is all the proof you need to show that you believe the contradiction, that you know not what you cannot fail to know, which is what you are in truth. Is this a question or a statement which denies itself in statement? Let us not allow our holy minds to occupy themselves with senseless musings such as this. Paragraph 9, we have a mission here. We did not come to reinforce the madness that we once believed in. Let us not forget the goal that we accepted. It is more than just our happiness alone we came to gain. It is more than just our happiness alone we came to gain. What we accept as what we are proclaims what everyone must be along with us.
And this is the importance of recognizing that as we accept atonement, ultimately the goal is to accept atonement with God and the recognition that, the separation has not in fact occurred, but we are also one with our brothers in the sonship, and the sonship and God is one. So accepting atonement is not a private thing. Um, there are no private prayers. There is no private acceptance of the atonement. Yes, it says that I must accept the atonement for myself, but what am I accepting the atonement with? I like to dissect the word atonement to at one-ment, and I'm accepting it for myself. I don't want to be separate. I'm not a mythical me. I am one in God, one with my brothers. So it's coming back to, it's not, it cannot and never has been a privatized thing. We must transcend all self interests. Our prayers are universal. The atonement is a universal offering. It's giving the kingdom back to the Father the way that it is, and not trying to defend ourselves against it by piecemealing it out. That was a long-winded explanation, but I just want to make sure that we understand it's always inclusive.
Always inclusive. There's never any exclusive atonement.
That's right.
Just for my own mind, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. That was valuable. I've lost my place again. Oh, no. Yeah. Fail not your brothers, or you fail yourself. Look lovingly on them, that they may know that they are part of you, and you of them. This does atonement teach, and demonstrates the oneness of God's Son is unassailed by his belief he knows not what he is.
Mm-hmm.
Today, accept atonement, not to change reality. Not to change reality. You get that?
Yes.
Okay. But merely to accept the truth about yourself and go your way rejoicing in the endless love of God. It is but this that we are asked to do. It is but this that we will do today. 5 minutes in the morning and at night we will devote to dedicate our minds to our assignment for today. We start with this review of what our mission is. I will accept atonement for myself, for I remain as God created me. We have not lost the knowledge that God gave to us when he created us like him. We can remember it for everyone, for in creation are all minds as one. And in our memory is the recall how dear our brothers are to us in truth, how much a part of us is every mind, how faithful they have really been to us, and how our Father's love contains them all. In thanks for all creation in the name of its Creator and his oneness with all aspects of creation, we repeat our dedication to our cause today, each hour, as we lay aside all thoughts that would distract us from our holy aim. For several minutes, let your mind be cleared of all the foolish cobwebs which the world would weave around the Holy Son of God, and learn the fragile nature of the chains that seem to keep the knowledge of yourself apart from your awareness, as you say this: I will accept atonement for myself, for I remain as God created me. That's so beautiful, isn't it?
Wow, it is.
Mm.
Yes. And this whole switch around of a Coreen trying to strive and change into, the Christ, and to awaken, and all of that's really fallen by the wayside. And I've got to tell you that in this recognition that there's just one of us here, and loving that one, and realizing that my acceptance is behalf of every brother, and feeling the love that's behind that,
Yeah.
that really has been such a massive quickening. God is love and God is one. And so we're really aligning our thoughts and our mind with God when our desire becomes all inclusive. So I just want to encourage you to really open your heart, broaden it, and recognize what you're accepting atonement with, and that nothing can be outside of that prayer, or else it's not heard, because there's fear in it. And God doesn't recognize the prayer of fear.
Beautiful. Yeah. So you and I, sis, discussed just before we recorded this particular lesson that we would recommend our beautiful YouTube family,
Yes.
our Course in Miracles family, to go through the 7 essential principles of quantum forgiveness.
Yes.
But I'm looking at the next lesson,
Mm-hmm.
which is lesson 140,
Okay.
and I'm feeling that that might be the better lesson to take them through the 7 essential principles
Okay.
of forgiveness or atonement. Yeah.
Sure.
What do you think?
Uh,
Or
Either one, sis. I think.
I'm just thinking of the time. I
Yeah.
know it's an illusion, but we've gone quite a long time,
Yeah.
and it's going to take another 15 minutes at least, maybe 20, to take them through the
Okay.
7 principles.
Do you want to put the link at least for them to maybe get a sneak peek before tomorrow for those who want it, and then if not, you and I can introduce it before lesson 140.
Yes, great. Okay.
So
And
also
that's,
below.
yeah. Can you,
Yeah.
do you,
We're
it's in
going
the description box in the resources.
Yeah, it's
It's called the
entitled
7 essential principles of quantum forgiveness.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that good?
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
Okay.
you scroll down, it goes through the seven basic principles of forgiveness and atonement are, and you can just check in with those. I think a lot of people we were discussing that many course students, myself included, for a while there, it was a word. I'm gonna do the forgiveness and I'm gonna accept atonement. No idea what either one of those meant. I'm just gonna do it because that's how I get to awaken. Yeah. So let's unpack it, look at it together, and feel what it means. And I love that quote, that quote from Jesus about, forgiveness of the Holy Spirit means lies simply in looking beyond error from the beginning, and thus keeping it unreal for you, etc. Might be also a good thing to put down in the resources.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that that's in the resources by the time we.
Okay.
Anyway,
All right, you
yes.
guys.
Okay.
We love you. We don't want to burden and bury you, but we also want to make sure that I know that there are many deep divers out there that are just soaking up like a sponge. That's not a judgment. It's just, I know that some people want all of it and the kitchen sink, and some people go, just give me the lesson. And that's fine too. It's perfect. So wherever you are in the continuum, we want to make sure that we're providing something for everybody no matter where you find yourself. Okay. So it's not, you need to, you have to, it's here if you'd like to. All right.
That takes the pressure off, sis.
No pressure. Yeah. We'll see you guys next time for lesson 140. We're looking forward to it. Thanks, family.
Okay. Bye.
Bye bye.